describe Finicum's actions just prior to the
Yes, as is seen in the video, he makes a movement towards the inside right panel of his jacket where there was located a loaded semi-automatic pistol.
But it appeared even as if his hands were in the air when he actually went down. Is that accurate?
I think the video speaks for itself.
And so he ran into a snowbank, and they were like riddling the car with bullets. And then they, like when we crashed, they stopped for a second. He got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, and rest. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. They shot him like right there because he was just walking with his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God, he was just walking with his hands in the air, and they shot him. And they shot him dead. And then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times. And then they bombarded our vehicle with bullets. Ryan got hit in the shoulder. We were laying there on the floorboard screaming, and they gassed us like 5 times, and they kept trying to shoot us, and their angle was bad, so I don't know, we were praying like so hard, and we were screaming like, stop, please stop, please stop, and they were just riddling us with bullets. They kept gassing us over and over, and we couldn't breathe because of the gas, and we were trying to find something white so that we could put a white flag out, and then I was trying to see, because Ryan knew he got hit in the shoulder, so he was like, well, I don't think it's too bad, though.
Did you just fire at his vehicle before they shot him?
Lethal force was utilized as the vehicle approached the checkpoint, and of course, afterwards. Almost 4 minutes while commands were being given. The occupants of that vehicle refused to comply with those commands. That law enforcement showed great restraint. Then when the vehicle then took off, you can see that it just about seriously injured a law enforcement officer as it barreled towards that barricade.
All of us had like a laser on us. They're like, turn out the car and put your head out the window and all this stuff. He's like, he put his hands out the window so they could see he didn't have a gun. He's like, but I'm not. He's like, I'm not. He's like, we're going to talk to the sheriff right now. He's like, you guys can follow us there, that's fine. He's like, but we're talking to the sheriff. He said, either you can put a bullet through my head right now and get it over with, or we're going to talk to the sheriff. And they were like, no. And so then they're like, stepping it up, and a bunch more guys are coming out, and they're all pulling their guns out. And they were like, we have women in the car. We have, because there's me and this other lady in the car that I don't know real well. But we have women in the car. They said, get the women out of the car. Get the women out of the car. And they're saying they're to shoot. And Ryan Payne was like, he was in the front seat. Ryan Payne is amazing. He is incredible. But anyhow, so he was like, he said he put his hands out the window because he was trying to talk to them. He's like, if he wanted the guy to just, he's like, I don't know if it's worth it. He's like, so he put his hands out the window and he said, we have women in the car, at least let the women get out. And he stuck his head out and they shot at him, but they missed him, or like he talked just in time, so they didn't hit him. And then they're like, oh, they mean business. They're going to shoot us. And so Ryan decided to get out of the car and try to go talk to them. And so he gets out of the car, and then the guy tried to like talk to them. The driver was like, I'm just going to drive. So I'm just going to talk to the sheriff. And he's like, so either shoot me now or leave us alone. And And they were just like, turn the car off and put your hands up on it. Oh, so finally, he decided to just drive. So we all got down on the floorboard, and he took off, and then they started firing at us. They started shooting us a bunch of times, and then they had a roadblock set up, and so he ran into a snowbank, and they were like riddling the car with bullets. And then they, like, when we crashed, they stopped for a second. He got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, and rest. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. They shot him, like, right there, because he was just walking with his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times. And then they bombarded our vehicle with bullets flying. I hit my shoulder. We were laying there on the floorboard screaming, and they gassed us like 5 times, and they kept trying to shoot us, and their angle was bad, so I don't know, we were praying like so hard, and we were screaming like, stop, please stop, please stop, and they were just riddling us with bullets. They kept gassing us over and over, and we couldn't breathe because of the gas. And we were trying to find something white so that we could put a white flag out. And then I was trying to see, because Ryan knew he got hit in the shoulder. So he was like, well, I don't think it's too bad, though. So we were just trying to find a way to get out there. And then they, hold on one second. I'm waiting for them to call me back.
Listen, Victoria, I recorded your testimony.
Oh, okay.
All right, because if anything happens to you, I think it's really important to have that.
All right.
Okay, so let's just get this clear. Mr. Finicum's hands were in the air when he was shot.
Yes.
Was he
We saw him face up. I mean, his hands were still up after he was dead.
Okay, they shot him and he went down, then they shot him again on the ground?
Yeah, they shot him like at least 6 times.
The newspaper reports are just saying that 3 shots were fired, but that's not true.
No, are you kidding me? They shot at least 120 shots probably altogether.
Okay.
They were shooting the car. It was like a lot.
What side of the windows were the windows blown out on, the left or the right side?
Left.
Left side, okay. And
they kept hitting the right. They kept hitting the right side of the car too, but they didn't blow. Like the windows didn't come out. Like they were hitting the metal instead of the glass.
Okay. And so not one shot was fired by anybody in the car or by a Lavoie?
No one even touched their gun.
No one touched their gun?
No one pulled their gun out. No one touched the gun. We had no rifles. A couple of the guys had sidearms on, but no one touched them. In fact, they had their hands out the windows to show that they were not firing. They weren't nothing.
Okay, so when
we showed no aggression at all.
When Ryan Bundy was shot, both his hands were out the window and his head was out the window?
No, at the time he was on the floor of the car because that was when they were shooting at our vehicle. We couldn't get out of the car or we would have been dead.
Right, okay. And so how many police vehicles or how many vehicles would you say were involved in this encounter? FBI vehicles, etc.
I didn't count. I was really shooken up when they got out. But we all noted that there was like a ton of vehicles. There were, I don't know, maybe 40 altogether.
Okay.
There was tons. And there were people in the trees. Like it was an ambush. It was a set-up ambush or something because there was like people in the trees, FBI snipers and people in the trees because we saw them. They're all pointing their, like I had like 20 lasers on me when I was getting out of the car.
Okay. So Lloyd got out of the driver's seat and he
when he crashed into the snowbank, then he immediately got out of the car. He had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then, because he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go down. He didn't want to. But he did not. He just had his hands in the air. He's like, are you just going to shoot me? And then they just shot him.
And how many shots would you say that were fired when they shot him the first time?
The first time that he
Well,
was shot.
when they shot him, did you hear multiple rounds?
Yes, I did. He got hit by several people. Like, it was like simultaneous, and we were like, what? Because we couldn't believe it. It shocked us because he had his hands in the air. We couldn't believe that they were actually going to shoot him. And we were like, what? Is he dead? Is he dead? And then I was like, because we knew that he had gotten shot, we couldn't hear him, and I was like, then I screamed, I'm in EMT, let me come out and help him. I just want to help him. And then they started firing at the car, the vehicle again, and then they wouldn't let us out. And, oh, it was so scary.
About how long would you say they fired at the car before they finally stopped?
Somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes.
Victoria, we're going to be
Yes.
praying for you, okay? And
All right.
you know, I have this recorded because I fear for your life. I feel like if you were one of the few people, you're not under arrest, but you were a witness, a direct eyewitness to what happened. So I wanted to get this down, and I wanted to document this as well as I could. Who was driving so Lavoie was driving the car, and Ryan was in the front seat?
No, Ryan Payne was in the front seat, but during the incident, he got out when they first stopped us. He stopped in the middle of the road and told them we're going to talk to the sheriff. He said, and then when they fired the first shot, it was actually at that point Ryan Payne had both his hands out the window on his head, and then they shot at him.
That was the first shot.
That was the first shot.
Okay, so.
And that's when they knew that's when we knew that they meant business, that they were serious, and that I'm talking to someone in Michigan that I live with, because recording this just in case something happened. So that was the first shot, and then he ended up getting out of the car because they stopped shooting. He got out of the car, and then after we started driving again, that's when they shot. That's when they started shooting at us again. So, but we had lasers on us the whole time. They were ready to shoot.
Okay, so Ryan got out of the car. Did he ever get back in the car before he took off?
No, he was arrested, or he was taken into custody at least. I don't know if he was arrested, because all of us were taken into custody, and he was with us. Like, we all got transported together, and then they separated all of us.
And that's Ryan Payne you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, and where was Ryan Bundy?
He was in the back seat of the car beside me. I was actually, I had fallen asleep on him. I had fallen asleep on him right when we got pulled over. I was asleep, and then I woke up when the whole thing started going down.
So
He was sitting to the left of me.
Okay, so you were in the middle,
Yes.
and then the other lady.
Cox on my right.
Who was?
Shauna Cox.
Shauna Cox on your right, Ryan Bundy on your left, and you were headed to go see the sheriff?
We were going to this meeting that was going on, so all of us sheriffs were going to sing, and the sheriff was going to be there, and a bunch of ranchers. We were just going to try to talk and maybe do some negotiations, and we were going to sing. And so that was all, and then we were ambushed. I mean, it was known that we were going to go, so they probably just decided to choose that area maybe because it was really wooded and everything, and we didn't have any phone service. So.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm going to be up if you want to call me at any time during this, okay? Because I can't do much. I can pray for you guys, but I can also try to document as best as possible to make sure that the story is not, because right now the media is reporting that 3 shots were fired.
Oh, no, that's a total lie.
Okay.
Of course, media is going to report that, but.
Right. Well.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen the car? Have you seen the vehicle?
No.
It's completely covered with gunshots.
Well, no, they're not going to release that because they don't want.
And he's probably got 6 holes in him himself.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you. So now let me ask you this: Do you want this story to get out?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording and I'm gonna see how well it's turning out. I want to be able to determine if I can hear you clearly and determine, and I mean, I am willing to try to get this out there to any media outlet that I possibly can. Independent media, but I need to know, so is your family back at the refuge?
No, they're not. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Someone's calling me.
All right. Go ahead and answer.
Oh, I need to let
All
you go.
right. Bye-bye.
I think that's my
Call
mom.
me back.
All right, bye.